Every single time. That's Emmanuel Watch, my dog. Let's get it started in the NFC, where Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers will meet for the first time in the playoffs in Sunday's NFC Championship game on Fox. Brady is making his 14th trip to the big game, but he'll be without one of his top targets, Antonio Brown, with a knee injury. On the other side, Rodgers will be in his first NFC Championship game at Lambeau Field. The Bucs blew out the Packers back in Week 6, but Rodgers said earlier this week that he does not feel any extra pressure heading into this game. So, Acho, which quarterback do you trust more, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
I trust Aaron Rodgers, Marcellus, and it's actually because of something you told me earlier on in the week. I agreed with it. I think I've said it before, but nonetheless, I'll say that you said it best. When you look at a quarterback, when you look at a team, the question is, what are you capable of?
Okay, yep.
Right? You have to talk about someone as, what are you capable of doing? What's your highs? What are your lows? But Marcellus, I had to take it one step further because it's not just what are these quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, capable of, how often are you capable of it?
Oh, man.
It's not just what are you capable of. How often are you capable of it? Sal, since I've been here, you ain't been late to work once. I ain't seen you late on set one time.
Son.
Not one time.
That's not what I do.
Now, if someone were to be late 2 to 3 times, then all of a sudden you realize not only are they capable of being late, but wait a second, this is a frequent occurrence, whereas you ain't been late not one time. So I trust you.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about football. Aaron Rodgers, what is he capable of conversely to Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers has only had one game completion percentage under 60%. Tom Brady's had 4. Aaron Rodgers has only had 2 games under 200 yards passing. This year, Tom Brady has had 3. Aaron Rodgers has had 7 games throwing for 4 touchdowns or more. Tom Brady has had 4. So I'm talking about what are you capable of, Aaron Rodgers? How low are your lows? Well, you've had one terrible game against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, one questionable game against the Panthers. Tom Brady, you've had 3 to 4 real suspect games. The Saints, the Rams, some could argue the Chiefs. Even last game, only a 54% completion percentage. So I listened to what you said first off. What are somebody capable of? I took it one step further, and I trust Aaron Rodgers because his lows, he's less capable of hitting them, and they aren't as low. And his highs, he's more capable of reaching them, and they are higher. For that reason, your boy trusts Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
Okay. I loved your take because it had a lot of me in it. No, respect to the take, but you took it too far. You said I took it another step, you took it too far. Because it's not that Aaron Rodgers isn't capable. I think his ceiling is actually higher than Tom Brady, to your point. The problem is, what is his regression to his mean? What is his average?
You're going somewhere.
Let's go deeper. What is his median? In moments like this. Acho. How many homies we had when we were playing 3 Flies Up and all those little football Pop Warner games used to do their thing, all right? Put the pads on, homie. Let's see what you can do now. Uh-oh, where you go? What happened to you? Now, these are 2 all-time greats going at it. But when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he is great. He is the best of the rest. But when you're talking about going against the GOAT, that's when you lose in comparison. When you're insanely great like Aaron Rodgers, you don't even understand the next stratosphere that doesn't even occupy where Tom Brady is. He's beyond that stratosphere. We're talking about the one-ring Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about the Aaron Rodgers who is 1-3 in NFC Championship games. Tom Brady is in his 14th opportunity. That's good. Pretty good, pretty good. But it's not to son Aaron Rodgers. It's just to say, there are levels to this Meek Mill style. And I look at Aaron Rodgers and I'm saying, you have not figured out yet how to culminate all of your skills, all of your talents into a translation for ultimate team success. That's what a Super Bowl champion does. He takes what he has, he takes what you have, and they add it all up for the ultimate team victory. That's when Aaron Rodgers falls short. Now, before I've come on here supporting Aaron Rodgers in NFC Championship games because in all of his losses in the playoffs, his team, his defense specifically, has given up 36 points on average. Okay, that sounds good. Except when you start to look at Aaron Rodgers in terms of what he does in these same NFC Championship games, you're like, is that the same Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is not the same guy in these moments. So I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers as, one, you got to get your team over the hump. But before you get your team over the hump, I need Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers in these moments. A 1-3 record in those moments is not the same. Packers have averaged 21 points per game in his 4 NFC Championship game appearances. This is the #1 scoring offense this year. I wonder if he's going to regress to the mean of these moments, which is 21 points, or he's finally going to stand out and stand up for who he is in greatness and do what he's supposed to do.
Regressing to the mean. I like that.
You know
Bringing up mean median mode. I'm rocking with you there, but let me say this.
Okay.
The other reason that I have to now trust Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to step away from all the football jargon, if we can, for a second, and let's talk some of the off-the-field things. Packers playing this game at home, which means Aaron Rodgers gets to sleep in his own bed. Aaron Rodgers has his own meals, and he has his own chef, the one they're used to. Okay. Aaron Rodgers is ready for the standard pregame routine. You know what Tom Brady, and you got to do what when you travel. It's the worst. Tom Brady going to get on this plane. He's going to put on probably his compression tights, because when you get to the air, when you're playing ball, you got to wear your compression tights so you get the blood flow all going in your legs. Then they're probably going to stay in Appleton, because you usually don't stay in Wisconsin. You remember 45 minutes? Where'd y'all stay? We stayed about 45 minutes from the stadium.
We stayed at a place that didn't make us feel so comfortable staying there, or wherever that was.
Exactly.
I was like, hey, man, hurry up. When's kickoff?
So you're going to end up staying not actually in Green Bay, but say about 45 minutes from the stadium where the beds is hard, and now everything is different because you don't got the pregame meal on lock, you don't know your routine, etc. Marcellus, I want to read a little bit deeper into the details. When you're talking about two quarterbacks so evenly matched, you're talking about probably the best of all time versus the greatest of all time. Two of the top 3 to play this position, at least in the last 25 years, last quarter century. Now we got to split these hairs. Now we got to figure out what's really going to make the difference. I'm going to trust the person who doesn't have to change the routine. I'm going to trust the person who is used to the atmosphere, who is used to the climate. You talked about this yesterday, and we didn't talk enough about it, but even if you don't think weather's going to play a factor, your body going to respond. I love what you brought up. Even if we're sitting in a studio like I am right now, starting to perspire a little bit, because even if I'm trying to tell myself I ain't hot, it's hot under all these lights. Walk outside and it's cold. Acho, you tough. It's cold. It ain't cold out here. It ain't cold. Like your body will naturally. Aaron Rodgers is more acclimated to the elements, and as a result, I'm gonna trust the dude who's playing at home. He at his house. He on his couch. He eating his potato chips. He watching his TV. I'm gonna trust that dude.
Damn. I hate when I agree with something, but I disagree with it too. And I'm here right now because I raise my hand for routine, except if I've been unsuccessful with my routine, then I need to change my routine. Now, they can't change it. You want home field advantage. Oh, sorry, this year it's a pandemic. Home field advantage means there's 18 people in the crowd. But in terms of routine, you're taking me down a path that Aaron Rodgers, because he's comfortable, is going to be comfortable on the field come this weekend. But in NFC Championship games, Aaron Rodgers is not comfortable. I'm going to give you 2 examples of Aaron Rodgers and his routine leading him to disaster more so than success. Let's talk about this routine that has him now 1-3 in his NFC Championship games. Let's talk about this routine that now he's going to be at home finally, but each of his last 3 NFC Championship games, he's lost. Not just lost because of them, in part lost because of him. 6 passing touchdowns and 7 interceptions with a 78 passer rating. No, Baker Mayfield's not playing this weekend. Those are Aaron Rodgers' numbers in the NFC Championship games. What is going on when you see Aaron Rodgers perform less than? Pressure. Pressure is different for everybody because it's based on how much you want to listen to it and how much you want to respond to it. We all put pressure on ourselves, but does it have the impact and influence on our behavior is this conversation. Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP this year, correct? Yes, sir. But Aaron Rodgers, historically, in this moment, has failed himself, let alone the Green Bay Packers. Let's go to this year because you could be caught up in history and not talk about the present. The present also suggests that Aaron Rodgers, this may not be good for you as well. This is the 3rd time that Aaron Rodgers has faced the team a 2nd time in that season after they smashed them the 1st time. Beat them by 25 points or more. Remember what happened in 2015? 5 years ago. Lost to the Cardinals by 30 in the regular season. Everybody's like, oh, man, you know Green Bay going to get them boys again. Nope, they lost by 6 in the playoffs. Okay, forget it. Let's go to last year, the 49ers by 29. Remember that game? And everybody's like, nah, even though they're 13-3, a little empty calorie in terms of their team success, they're still going to be okay against the 49ers. No, they weren't.
I don't know.
Lost by 29 the first time, lost by 17 the second time, and it wasn't that close. So now you lose to the Buccaneers by 28, and Aaron Rodgers is on podcast after podcast talking about that was a long time ago. Aaron, a long time ago doesn't support you. A long time ago shows that you fail in these moments. So this year, if history is telling me anything, Acho, it's telling me that his routine is going to lead him right to the road of disaster.
Okay, I like that. I'm not mad at it. But I've told you my first reason I trust Aaron Rodgers is because I think he's more capable of good and he's less capable of bad.
Okay. What is his regression to his mean? What is his average?
You're going somewhere.
Let's go deeper. What is his median? In moments like this. Acho, how many homies we had when we were playing three flies up and all those little football Pop Warner games used to do their thing, all right? Put the pads on, homie. Let's see what you can do now. Uh-oh, where you go? What happened to you? Now, these are two all-time greats going at it. But when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he is great. He is the best of the rest. But when